Welcome to my tarot card reading for April 2018, and this is Manu Tarot. Okay, let's remember this is a general reading for events around the world. Okay, so we have an idea the kind of energy that is bringing forward this month of April. Okay, economically, financially, politically, socially. Okay, we have here Iku, Chango, and Eshu. And right here we have the Ten of Cups, Pluto, Pisces, and we have the Sun, Leo, Aries, and the Sun again. Okay, so that's more or less the energy that is bringing forward. Iku, the Angel of Death, is there. So it should make us think what we could expect during this month. Anyhow, let's start immediately with the reading. Let's forget those cards there because I'm going to make reference to them as well. But we have here the rest of the reading, and we have the first week of the month. Remember that for me, the weeks are 8 days. The purpose is that the 8th day represents a combination of the first week, or the week and the week that follows. Okay, it's like a mixture of the first day of the first week and the previous one. Okay, does it make sense? I hope so. So we have the Tower. Then the Tower, it's upside down, as you can see. This is talking about a collapse. Politically, it could mean a civil war. It could mean a coup d'etat. Okay, the collapse of a government. It could mean even a terrorist attack. Okay, and then here we have to make a pause because this is then open to interpretation. Okay, if your terrorist attack definition is anyone that is not Christian, then so be it. For me, my interpretation is anyone that causes mass destruction. Okay? Anyone carrying a bomb and detonating the bomb, even if the person is a Christian, for me is a terrorist. With that definition, you should understand that any kind of activity that brings down buildings, cars, bomb cars that explode, things like that, regardless of who is the perpetrator, it will be considered a terrorist attack under my definition. Okay, so keep that in mind. Financially, economically speaking, we could be talking about a very unstable market during the first week of April. Okay, a very volatile environment, a crash of the market. We have to take that under consideration, but it's along those lines. Okay, I'm going to expand more with this card, but I'm going to do that later. The second week, the second is all about feeling confident. So here, financially, economically, after the development of this, we're going to start seeing that there's a degree of confidence. So the markets are going to start performing better. People are going to feel a little bit safer, but we have to understand why, and that's going to be coming later. Okay, this is a month of feeling confident, secure, safe. Okay, by the third week of the month, what we have is the Nine of Staff, and then here we're talking about being on the defensive mode. I like to call it like that. So you are on the defensive mode and offensive mode, whichever way you want to put it, but you are here on an expectation. It's like you are putting a shield to protect yourself. Politically speaking, when we look at this, and then here, we definitely then need to start thinking about a terrorist attack. It could be a cyber attack. But the thing is that there is an attack, and politically or country-wise, the country, the region, the nation, whatever it is, decides to take steps to protect itself. Okay, that's technically what is insinuating here. Clear? And that's probably why we see the tarot card of feeling safe and confident. Okay, because there are going to be measures taken in order to protect the nation, the country, the region, the people, the markets. Okay, it could be any of those measures that are taken to protect losses. Then here we have the Five of Cups. He's talking about losses and people crying a lot for a loss. So again, we have to consider a terrorist attack. Okay, an attack where there are losses, lives are lost. Okay, we have to take under consideration that opinion, and considering that we have Iku there, the angel of death, so definitely we have to take under consideration that possibility during the month of April, a terrorist attack. Yeah, terrorist attack. Okay, that's it. The last week of the month, we have here the Queen of Cups. So there is frustration, there's anger here, frustration, anger during this month, at the end of the month. Okay, so we have to take that under consideration. I'm sorry, but when we look at this other card, we have to then expand our definition. We have to take under consideration then that there's going to be more marches, protests, upheavals, whatever way you want to call it, but there's going to be that here. People are going to be marching because they're angry. Okay, they're frustrated, and it's going to be manifested mainly during this last week of the month of April. Okay, we have that in the formula. Now, we have to also consider what I call the trilogy. We have the Queen of Cups, the World, and the Page of Cups. The dynamic here is very interesting. There's going to be a big scandal. There's another scandal, and a lot of information is going to start coming to the public. Okay, there's more information coming to the public, more scandals in the horizon. Okay, which are going to make people angrier, furious. Okay, therefore you're going to start seeing marches. The very interesting dynamic of this information is what it elicits in the people. And we have the world. That will be hopes, fears. So if we put it like this, we have to then see different angles. Politically, let's start politically. Politically means that there is information that comes out that might affect the one that is ruling. The political party is ruling, the president, the governor, whatever it is, whoever is the information that it is affecting. Then the fun part, we can call it like that, is that people are going to hope that with this information, the reign of this person or the influence is terminated. It has a negative impact. Okay? But we have to see it the other way around. The other way around is that those that are ruling, those that have the power, are hoping that this information does totally the opposite. It stops the scandal and it helps them to be vindicated. We have to be honest. It plays both ways. Okay? So that's the hope. That all this information that is from their point of view defamatory stops. Okay? We have to see it both ways because it plays both ways. Okay? That's technically what is going on. Financially, economically, information that comes that we hope that is going to stop the craziness of the markets. So let's see how it plays out, okay? There's also information coming out that is going to affect someone with money, someone famous. So we could be talking about pedophilia, but it could be any other kind of scandal that affects someone that has money, that has power, okay? So we have to open our eyes to see what it is. I said that, and I believe that I never mentioned the magician that is right here. So if we put the magician here, the magician and the tower right next to it, it's talking about something that doesn't work out, negotiations that some way somehow they're stopped, they're terminated, if you want to call it like that. And that deadlock is talking about eliciting a collapse. So in other words, diplomatic ties are going to come to an end. They're going to suffer considering this deadlock, okay? There's no agreement. In other words, that's what I'm saying. There's no agreement, and it's going to affect at a diplomatic level. We're going to see a collapse. Exports, imports are going to suffer as well. Okay? Negotiations don't go the way expected, and then it's going to have a negative impact on exports and imports. That's what the tarot cards are talking about. Negotiations that don't come out the way expected, okay? And it ends on a collapse, okay? I like to use that word, but it's what is indicating that diplomatic ties are going to be affected, the diplomacy is going to be affected, export and imports are going to be affected, and who knows what else comes out of this deadlock, okay? It could mean that if we're talking about countries that they're already having a really hard time keeping up peace talks, then it means that the last resource is war. Okay, we have to keep that in mind because we have some Leo areas here. Okay, we have Pluto also here. So we're talking about that. Oh, we have here the tarot card of the center, and it's kind of interesting because that's the existential vortex, and the existential vortex, even with all this information, is like there's a degree of passiveness from people. People are very passive. It's like they are not up to date. It's like they don't care about what is going on. Okay, that's what he's talking about. We have also to consider IQ, Pluto, Pisces, and then this one. He's talking about a hospitalization of someone famous, someone with money, very probable woman. And the person is probably the person has been diagnosed with something that is, okay, the thing is that it's all related with the stomach, the intestines, the digestion. It's like a lot of nausea, vomiting. So I will be inclined to think that there's someone famous with money that is going to come out, or probably it has been already diagnosed with cancer. Okay, it could be pancreatic cancer, but considering that it's giving an emphasis, then I won't be surprised if during this month this person also dies. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, and that's all I have for you for April 2018. Until the next one.